So my name is Jerolf. I represent my company Green Business International, which is established here in Sofia. And since a few years, step by step, we visit regularly Bulgaria, and together with the support of Professor Petkov and B2B, we participate in certain manifestations where regarding green energy, green industry, recycling, and so on. And let's say since last year, we really made much more intensive contacts and preparation to start projects. Our activity is, let's say, different regarding bigger institutes. First of all, we can manage several types of projects regarding, for example, biomass, water recycling, municipality waste, ecological housing, and so on. And always we can work on small, medium, and large scale. So especially now we are looking also solutions for farmers, and where we have, for example, this biogas installation, which is quite different regarding classic installations. First of all, because we only use the liquid manner, so we don't need input from outside, from energy, crops, and so on. Secondly, it's a full automatic installation, so the farmer only have to observe, that's the only thing to have to do. All equipment is in one container, so we don't need even special building, and the whole equipment is built up and start to produce after 1 month, and can already be efficient for a farmer with an equivalent of 60 cows. If you compare it with pigs, you need, let's say, 5 pigs for 1 cow. If you compare it with ducks in the stadium of the feeding, special feeding for the foie gras, you need 10 ducks for 1 cow. So just to give an indication of the size. Europe, it's not only Bulgaria, but we see that farming becomes more and more complicated, and certainly for smaller size. So in this case, it's also very sustainable regarding not only the ecological impact, but also the social impact. There is a positive evolution in all this. Let's say, when I was here 3-4 years ago, then there were contacts, and we explained, and a little bit of interest, but not enough to be really motivated to say, okay, we do it. Now, since last year, there is this motivation, which is of course not only due to the fact that there are penalties. If now people or municipalities don't act, they get penalties. But also the whole European grant system is now really focused on this. So I would say it's the last moment that you can avoid not only to pay penalties, but also to recover the investment. So that's of course that is a complete other situation than 2-3 years ago. In Germany, for biogas installation, there was, let's say, full facility to apply, to install, to get the grants and everything. Result in 40,000 installations. But of course bigger installations, so a lot of production of energy corn, energy crops, a lot of traffic on the roads so that now the population starts to complain because it's big volumes and so on. So they see a little bit what was the error they made to do it without any limit and so on. On the other hand, due to this attitude in German farming to allow solar panels and biogas installation, let's say authorization took 4 months. In France it took 8 years. Today they will shorten up, but from 8 years it still can take too long. Due to this, let's say a classic German farm could pay back the whole investment of the farm by the price of the energy, and then focus on only the feeding and working cost, daily working cost for the animals. So, on the contrary, like I said, in France, too complicated administration, too long, so very less projects, and finally, which was quite surprising, not enough focused on the thermal energy. And so a lot of these projects today are economically not good. In that way that even the Minister of Economy now, she has to raise up the price. For me, bad attitude. What is the basic problem? The thermal energy. Solve something with your thermal energy. You can do it. Today, for big installations, you can even use thermal energy left and again make electricity with it. These technical solutions exist. So now for Bulgaria, I would say, learning from this two processing, think about this, what I say, smaller installations that will avoid all this extra production and so on, extra traffic, and will keep sustainable certain farms from a certain size, not to go endless to extension. And in the meanwhile, you can, let's say, calm down also the impact on the electricity price of it, and still solve an ecological problem. So that these are three complete different examples. First approach is where can we save the energy without extreme high cost and so on. I can give you, if you want, one example that for the moment didn't apply, but we can apply it. It's a Bulgarian company. They have a very specific production in wood. They have, let's say, the equivalent of 200 kilowatt power station and, let's say, 400 cubic meters wood per month that is work. Due to the specific product, they have 40% losses in this production, waste wood, which is normal because it's very specific, select what you can use. So immediately I said to the owner, I said, only based on what you lose in wood, I can not only recover the whole thing you need, not only in the electricity, but also in your thermal energy, because this process needs to dry the wood and afterwards even to steam the wood, to give a certain shape to the wood. Once he saw this, that this was possible technically, the owner said, oh, then I can double my production, because this gives him margin to do it. And he said, I have the market and so on.